I need to talk about the Angels. It is ridiculous what is going on there. Really good teams go on losing streaks. Really good teams don't lose 11 in a row. This is a good baseball team. This is a playoff worthy baseball team. They should not be losing 11 in a row. The way they lost on Sunday was disgusting. There's no way that should have happened. And the sad thing is you just knew it was going to happen. Bryce Harper comes up with the bases loaded and you just knew it was going to happen. Then they end up scoring in the ninth inning and they still find a way to blow it. This has been ridiculous for the Angels. They are way too talented of a team to be losing 11 games in a row. Now let's talk about a few reasons why and a few people that need to step up. First off, let me say this. Mike Trout and Shohei Ohtani are superstars. When they aren't playing to the best of their ability, you have to have other people step up. You have to have other guys in the lineup that can pick up Mike Trout and Shohei Ohtani when they aren't carrying a team. Joe Adell, I'm calling out Joe Adell. He can be a superstar. He has superstar talent. It's time he produces at the big league level. It's time he comes up and can help this team win ball games night in and night out. I've seen him for years produce in the minor league level, and then he comes up and he's not the same guy. It's time he steps up and becomes that guy. This bullpen has been ridiculous over this stretch. Step up. Get some outs in big situations. This team is too good to be that way. They have to be getting out. Sunday, Raisel Iglesias comes in the 8th inning. He hadn't pitched in 9 days. I'm going to call out Joe Madden. Joe Madden's on the hot seat right now. I don't know if Joe Madden is going to be here much longer for this Angels team. He's had his shot. He now has a really talented team, and he's making some moves that just make me scratch my head. Is he a player manager? Sure. Everybody loves him. But this team should be winning. And it's happening all over the place. Everybody needs to step up and be a part of it. Not just Trout and Shohei. Those guys, you know what they're going to get. But when they're struggling, you need to have guys step up and pick them up. Mike Trout right now is in the midst of the longest offer stretch in his entire career. He's allowed to do that. He's Mike Trout. He's the greatest player on the planet. He's got to be able to have guys come up and step up and figure it out. Injuries have been plaguing this team as well. Taylor Ward was one of the best players on the planet this year. He's been hurt lately. It just gets frustrating watching this team because it feels like they should be talented enough to not go through this. This is what's going to separate them from that team that they've been in the past to the team that they should be now. Don't allow yourself to go on these stretches. You're too talented. Somebody has to step up and pick up the other guys. The offense needs to pick up the pitchers. The pitchers need to pick up the offense. Joe Madden needs to make the right moves in the dugout. But none of that stuff is happening. And that's how you see 11 in a row. They go from being one of the best teams in baseball to just being a below 500 team. It's ridiculous. It's tough to watch. It really is. I need a breather before I get into the statistics here because, I'm a massive Shohei fan, but I want to see Mike Trout in the playoffs. I want to see Shohei Ohtani in the playoffs. They're talented enough to be in the playoffs. It's ridiculous what's happening right now. It's frustrating as a fan of the game of baseball to see how poorly they've been playing. And Sunday was just the icing on the cake. They score 5 runs early in the ball game. They have a 4-run lead in the 8th inning, and then they end up blowing it and losing the ball game. 11 in a row losses. It's tough to watch. It is really tough to watch.
I mean, it really is, but I think in the grand scope of things, you never think a team is going to lose 11 games in a row with how talented they are. But all the games they have lost, they lost 1 game to the Rangers. You get swept by the Blue Jays, who are playing really good baseball right now. You lose to the Yankees, top team in baseball, and then you catch a Phillies team at the wrong time. They switch the managerial stuff. The Angels come to town. It's one of those things. What can the Angels do, hopefully, in the near future to get better and maybe get back on the horse here?
pitch, hit, play defense, get healthy. Well, I mean, it's everything. It really is. During their 10-game losing streak, so heading into Sunday, they were averaging 2.8 runs a game. 2.8 runs per game. That ain't going to cut it. They were 4.8 runs per game before that losing streak. A total of 2 runs difference. That's wild. This losing streak is unprecedented for a team that was well above 500 as they were. They're one of only 4 teams in the history of the game to be 10 games above 500 and to have a losing streak bring them below that. 4 teams in the expansion era. They were an elite team in this game. You don't have a team that is as good as they are and goes on a stretch like this. There's more happening than just your superstar struggling or your manager making the wrong moves or injuries. It's a culmination of everything. And if you sit here and blame the losing streak on Mike Trout and Shohei Ohtani, shame on you. It's not them. Superstars struggle all the time. You got to have guys around you on a good team that are capable of picking them up. They're only the 3rd team in MLB history, or there have only been 3 teams in MLB history that have reached the playoffs in a season in which they had an 11-game losing streak. Only 3 in history. The 51 Giants, the 82 Braves, and the 2017 Dodgers. On May 15th, the Angels were 24-13, tied with the Astros for first place in the AL West. The Angels are now 27-28, 8.5 games behind the Houston Astros.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things. With the Angels, we kind of waited for this when the season started, where it was, hey, you know what? They're going up, they're ascending. Are they going to drop off? And it's like, well, maybe this is the year they finally put it all together with Mike Trout. And unfortunately, it seems like injuries, fatigue, whatever else has finally caught up with them.
Yeah. I mean, the Angels Twitter account tweeted this the other day. We are straight up not having a good time.
Facts.
Same. As a guy that just wants to watch good baseball, that's a good team. I'm not watching good baseball when I watch the Angels right now. It's frustrating. They are way better than this. They need to be playing better. I had to call them out. I called them out in April. They went on a little bit of a skid. I called them out and they started playing much better. So I had to go above and beyond that call out. This is a real call out. I called out Joe Adele. I'm calling out Joe Madden. I'm calling out the 6, 7, 8, 9 guys in this lineup. The depth that they have this year should be much better. The Angels get down at the bottom of their lineup and it's like, oh, great. This isn't going to be great. I'm calling out a lot of guys. Thanks for watching. If you love flipping bats, swinging 3-0, or just talking ball, join us. Call us at 213-537-9339 with your questions. We have a weekly guest, and we have a lot of fun, so hit that subscribe button.